Hello everyone and good morning. We will start the webinar now. First of all, thank you for coming in, tuning in for today's webinar. So basically, what are we going to do today, or what are we going to talk today is that is mostly about thermal imaging solution provided by drones. So thermal imaging solutions actually can be used in few industries such as SAR, solar panel inspection, and also surveillance. So I'm Tengku Afiq. I will be your moderator today. And there's also Chia Yang, my colleague from commercial team.
Hi, Afiq. Hi. Good morning, everyone.
You can move to the next slide.
Yep, sure.
Yeah. And before we start, I would like to ask everyone to, if you have any questions, feel free to use the right-hand side Q&A chat box. We will be answering, me and Jaya will be answering your questions throughout this webinar. And also after this webinar, we'll be sending you a survey for you to answer to actually help us conduct webinar better for in the future. So without further ado, I'll pass the floor to Jayang.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Afiq. Yep. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Jayang. Basically, I'm coming from sales and commercial team. And thanks for Afiq doing as a moderator for this webinar. So for today, I'm gonna talk about drone thermal imaging. So basically, we will run through some solutions across different industry, and also introducing some equipments and also drones to the certain industry for the certain usage. So before I start, I would like to run through our agenda for today. So basically, I will start with our background, Poladrone. And then we go to introduction of UAV. So basically this one will tell you about how UAV works and also what's the process and the flow. Then I will go into thermal imaging. And then after that, I will talk about the common usage of drone in drone thermal imaging in different industries, including infrastructure inspections, surveillance, and public safety. And at the last, we will introduce our service. Yep, so start with our background. So as Poladrone, we are recognized as a tier 1 distributor for DJI, and also we are the distributor for many leading payloads like Santera and FLIR.
Jayang, I think we cannot hear you.
Hello, Afiq?
Yep, can hear.
Can hear, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry for the disconnections. Yep, as I continue, our backgrounds. So basically, we are the tier 1 distributor for DJI. So we are the enterprise dealer for DJI Enterprise in Malaysia. And then we also is the many leading payloads distributor such as Santera and FLIR. So FLIR is one of the thermal cameras distributor, which are very famous in the industry. So secondly, we are founded in 2015. So we are focused in agriculture mapping and inspections across Malaysia. And then also we provide.
Sorry, Jayang. Can you share your screen again? Because you cannot see yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I think you got disconnected.
All right, let me share again. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Yep. So as I say, we are founded in 2015. So basically our focus in agriculture mapping and inspections in Malaysia. So by providing the drones, sensor, and also analytic to different kind of companies, and also we provided the different solution to them. So up to date, we have map around 500,000 hectares of the land. And also we did have a own DIY drone, which is the spraying drones. And we do have our manufacturers to manufacture for the DIY drones. And at the end, we also have the Drone Academy Asia, which is our sister company, which is customized and also giving training to the company that they require for the drone pilots, and also deliver the drone knowledge to the pilots as well. So this is some of our background. So before I start into drone thermal imaging, I would like to do some introductions to UAV. So UAV are referring to unmanned aerial vehicles. So to have a complete unmanned aerial system solutions, we need to have 4 things. So the first things we need to have is a platform. So platform normally we are regarding to the drone itself. After that, you need to have the payloads. The payloads normally we are referring to the cameras or other payloads in here. Then after that, we need to have a software. So software normally is used to process and also do the analytic for the further resolutions. So at the last but not the end, we did have an operator, which is here referring to the drone pilot. So by combining these 4 things, only we can call it a complete UAS solutions. So you can think that platform is the body for you, then the payload is the eye for you, and also the software are the brain for you. So by having all these 4 things, then you have a complete solution. So talking about platform, actually we have a different type. So basically in here, we're gonna more focusing on multi-rotors. So later I will explain more. And also we did have other choices like fixed wing and hybrid version of VTOL. And also we have different type of payloads. So as you can see, there's a thermal payload here, which we're gonna talk about later. And also we did have other payloads like high zoom, multispectral for other industrial purpose and use. And come into the software, we did have 3 parts. So basically it's operations, is help you to fly the drone, then processing to help to stitch your photo, and also analyzing, which is help you to given out you different kind of analysis. So different software is used for different functions. After knowing how to complete USS solutions, now we're gonna talk about how drones gonna revolutionize the core industry. So in here, we're gonna talk about how the drone thermal imaging can be used in the specific industry. So thermal imaging. So thermal imaging basically we are talking about putting the thermal cameras on the drones. Then we do it for the certain functions. So let's start with what is thermal imaging. So basically thermal imaging is capture and create an image of an object by using the infrared radiations emitted from an object. So as you can see in the pictures that the created image is represent the temperature of the object. So as a common use, the warmer the object will be show yellow, red or orange colors, and the cooler parts of it will be displayed on blue or purple color. So this is the common industry use. However, the color is adjustable, depends on your device. So the color can be cooler, showing the red or the yellow color, and the warmer the color can be show blue or purple color. It depends on how you setting on your device. So after knowing the thermal imaging, so we need to know what is infrared. So almost every object with a temperature above absolute zero, which is negative 273 degrees, emits infrared. So the mainly difference between the infrared and the visible light actually is the wavelength. So according to the graph below or the picture below, we can see that visible light and also the thermal imaging will have a different wavelength. Both of the visible light and also the infrareds are under the electromagnetic spectrum, but unlikely the visible light infrared radiation cannot be perceived with the human eye directly, which means we can't see the infrared or the thermal by our eye itself. However, the visible light can be seen by our eyes. So in the infrared can be differentiated into the three wavelengths. So we'll be including short wave, medium wave, and also the long wave. So for the short wave range will be range from 0.9 to 1.7, and then the medium wave will be range from 3 to 5, and the long wave will be range from 8 to 14. So what is the short wave infrared? So short wave infrared, if the imaging require some sort of illuminations in order to image on an object, and can be performed only if some light is present, such as the ambient moonlight or the starlight is present. So in fact, the shortwave infrared region is suitable for outdoor and nighttime imaging. Then for medium wavelength and also the long wave infrared regions are referred as the thermal infrared because the radiation is emitted from the object itself and no external light sources is needed to image the object. So these are the major difference between the short wavelength and also the medium and long wavelength. So what is the thermal imaging basic? So as we can see that by using thermal imaging, we can see in total darkness because we doesn't need to have a light to see it. And then we can see through the obscurance, including the smoke and also the fog. And also by measuring the temperatures, we can use to detect the peoples and animals by setting according to the standards and also the benchmark. But what is the things it cannot do is that it cannot see through the glass, the waters, the wall, or clothing. And also you need to get accurate temperatures beyond the long distance. So if you're having a long distance, the temperature might not be accurate in these situations. So to having a good area thermal imaging, so you need to consider the few factors, including the camera specification. So this one we were gonna talk in the short while later when I introduce the equipment to you. And also you need to have a correct camera angles to capture. And also it really depends on the emissivity and refractive of the object. And also we will need to see about the background temperature, especially when you're taking it on a sunny day, and the range from subject and also the humidity of the conditions. So these are the few sectors you need to consider when you're taking the area thermal imaging. So by doing the area thermal imaging, you DJI and FLIR actually have developed one of the first drone with the thermal camera. So as previously, FLIR is only developed the handheld thermal device, which is using the hand, which is not attached to the drone. But after that, they collaborate with a DJI. They have created the first thermal cameras which can attach to the drone. And the latest version we are referring to the Zenmuse XT2 and by FLIR. So basically, we can see that thermal imaging can increasing the efficiency, and also it can be widely used in many industries like surveillance, inspection, and also energy. So in next, we're gonna talk about how the drone with the thermal imaging can be used in different industry. So before we enter into the topic, Afiq, do we have any questions that we can have to answer?
I don't think we have any questions right now. Maybe we can proceed first, and later at Q&A session we answer all the questions that we have.
Yep, sure.
Yep.
Thanks, Afiq. So now I'm gonna talk about the common use of drone thermal imaging in different industries. Will be included inspections, surveillance, and also public safety. So first, we're gonna talk about the infrastructure inspection first. So as we know, there are many common challenges for the inspections when you're doing the inspection. So first one, we're gonna talk about like unreliable data, because when you're taking the data by using human labor that might be have a human error, and also it's very time consuming. As you can see in the pictures, when you do an inspection on the telco tower or the power line, you need to have humans to climb up to the buildings or the structures to take for the readings. And also it's very dangerous, as you can see in the pictures. When it comes to the certain height, it's very dangerous for the labor as well. And also due to some inaccessible area, especially in the forest, having those power line, it's very inaccessible for the human to go inside and take for the inspection of the structure or the tower. So these are all the common challenges facing by the inspections industry. So how the drones and also the thermal camera can be used to solve this kind of challenges. So as we can see, manual inspection can be done by humans through certain methods. Like the first one this is the example from the solar plant. So we use the thermal device, handheld thermal device, to capture for the temperatures and also the reading and data from the solar cell or the solar panel. So this is very time consuming, as we know. And also the second one is during the inspection for the power line. As we can see, they are climbing to very top of the buildings, and this might cause the higher risk for them, especially in the safety. So now we're gonna move it to the drone inspections. So for the first one, the drone inspection can be used in the solar farm. So by having the drone thermal imaging, we can use it to scan around the solar farm within the short time. And then the different result, like the RGB result and also the thermal result, can be generated, and the video can be taken, and also we can do into the 2D thermal and RGB map. So this is the result that actually can help the operator to inspect, including inspecting on the defective cells, the elements on the two cells, and those panels not functioning, and also the cells which is ruptured. So this is the solution that can be applied in the solar inspection by using drone thermal imaging. And the second one will be in the telco industry. So by using the drone thermal imaging, you can use this to do the cell tower inspections. And then you apply it on the thermals. You can check it on the cabling, the connections, the terminals, or the RRU and TMA modulators. So it can present it in RGB view or either in the thermal view. And then the third industry can be used is the power line. So by using the drone inspection in power line, you can check on the insulator, conductor, and line fittings, but without using the human labor to climb up to the place and take for the readings. You can remotely control the drones and capture for the thermal imaging from a far distance. So these are the three inspections can be done in three different industry. So what kind of drone we're going to be used in these situations or the scenario is that we will be introducing the first solution, which we call Matrix 300 series version 2, plus with the XT2 camera. So what is Matrix 200 series? So I'm gonna do some introduction of this. So basically Matrix 200 series is the industrial grade of drones, which can help you to get up to 7 km of operation range, and it can fly on the sky within 38 minutes flight time maximum. And also you have a IP43 of the waterproof, and also it can fly under the light rain, and the maximum capacity for it can be carried up to 2 kg. So this one is the industry grade of a drone, can be attached with a different payloads. So in this scenario, we will attach it with the Zenmuse XT2, which I will explain further in the next few slides. So Zenmuse XT2 itself is the thermal camera and also equipped with a RGB camera. So on the right hand side, you can see there's a visual camera that can up to 12 megapixels and can help you to record for the 4K of video. And then on the left hand side is the FLIR camera that have the thermal imaging. So you can choose between the 9 Hz and 30 Hz. So 9 Hz, 30 Hz, that is that when you're flying on the drones, when you're capturing for the video or the pictures, it won't have a delay if you're having the higher Hertz delay effect. Then also you have an option that you can choose for the sensor resolutions between 640 and 336. So this is a common spec for the Zenmuse XT2. And also if you have an IP44 ratings, which also it can attach with Matrix 200 series and enable the flights in the light range. And also XT2 have 4 types of lens options. So we're ranging from 9mm to 25mm. So the common range chosen by the industry usage is between 13 and 19. And also if equipped with 8 intelligent features, including temperature check, temperature alarm, heat track, FLIR MSX, quick track, isothermal, color paste, and PIP options. So I'm gonna explain each one by one in the next few slides. So by having the Zenmuse XT2, you can have a temperature alarm, which means that you can set the temperatures and the temperature you want to measure. And when it scans through the certain objects, it will get alarm when it breach it. So this is the first intelligence function by the Zenmuse XT2. Then the second function is the heat track. So basically it will lock on the hottest object. So in views to achieve in the different angles. So it can help you to look at the hot objects when you scan through your solar panels or you scan through doing the inspection for your telco tower or the power line. After that, with the heat track functions, it comes with a temperature check functions. So basically in these intelligent functions, you can see what is the highest and also what is the different temperature or everything inside the screen by tapping on the screen itself. So like in the picture, you tap on the blue color sky, then you will get the temperature of the sky. And also you tap on the object itself, then you will get the temperature of the object itself. So this is the temperature check functions by Zenmuse XT2. Then the next function is what we call isothermal. So basically for isothermal, you can set the temperature parameters on your device itself. Then after that, when you're doing the inspection or you're doing the search and rescues, it will help to highlight the objects by showing different color on your screen. Like what we show here in the pictures is showing the dogs and the people walking around. And normally this will be using in the firefighting or people fighting scenario. And then the next functions we're going to talk about is the MSX. So what is MSX? Basically with MSX is the overlay of the RGB view and also the thermal view. So as you see, normally when we see the thermal view, it doesn't have a very clear view on it. But if you overlay, which you choose on the FLIR MSX functions, it will overlay the RGB view and also the thermal view together to help you just have a better picture of the object and clearer view on it. So this is the MSX functions. And then the last function that we're going to talk about is a picture in pictures. So basically when using Zenmuse XT2, you have the function that you can see in 2 views. So one is the RGB view and one is the thermal view. So this will help you when you're doing some search and rescue and also other functions. So you can see in 2 different views, including the visible view and also the thermal view. As you see in the picture, this is the firefighting scenario, which they can see the people is inside the box by using the thermal view, and also the RGB will show you the real situations. So after talking the Zenmuse XT2 and also the Matrix 200 series. Now we're going to talk about some case study under infrastructure inspections. So the first case study is in Spain. So it's using by the Enertis company, which they are the solar company doing for the solar farm. So what they use the drone for is using for solar farm inspections. So for this scenario and this case study, they are using Matrix 210 series plus the XT2. So basically they use it to inspect their solar farm. As you can see in the picture, they are using it to inspect the solar farm by doing it very frequent. So in the result, they can cut the panel inspection cost by up to 40% compared to their traditional method. And also it reduced the survey time from a month down to a week for a 75 megawatt of a solar farm. So this is the result they can generate through using the drone thermal imaging. Then the case study 2 is happening in Korea. So basically this is using by the Chongbuk National University. They are doing the research how drone thermal imaging can use on the solar farm. So they are doing the research on the solar farm inspections. In these cases, they are using Inspire 2 with a Wheel Pro True plus a X5S. So Wheel Pro True is one of the drone thermal camera. And also X5S, it helps to capture for the RGB camera. This one. So basically, what's the result they're having here is they're able to generate the 2D RGB map and also the 2D thermal map. So 2D RGB map is on the left and the 2D thermal map is on the right. So by having this kind of map for the management or the operator, they can have a better view what is happening on their farm itself. And also they're able to do a visual and also thermal panel inspection on each of the solar panel itself. So this is the case studies 2 by Chongbuk National University happening in Korea. Yep, so before I enter into the second industry, Afiq, do we have any question we can help to answer?
Yeah, I think we have a few questions that we asked just now. So the first one is someone has asked if the new Matrix 300 RTK that was launched last week or last 2 weeks can do thermal camera too.
For Matrix 300 series, yeah, it can attach with the XT2 if not mistaken, but to double confirm, I will get back this to the participant. Perhaps he can leave the contact. We can contact him further for the further clarifications.
Yeah, I think the thermal camera H20T also can do, right?
You mean attached to the Matrix 300 series?
Yeah, correct.
Yep, it can be attached to the Matrix 300 series.
Yeah. And then just now when we were talking about solar panels, right? As you know, solar panels that's got reflectance from sunlight. It reflects sunlight at the panel, and is it going to affect the thermal image?
So
I think you can see the questions inside the Q&A over here on your right.
Because I'm in the presentation,
yeah.
I cannot see the. Hold
on. Yeah, I think Jude has answered this question. Yeah, Jude has answered the question. So according the atmospheric condition will affect the thermal imaging. So it generally recommended to take a series of image of the surface. I think for first one is a variety of angle and also on how we take the pictures, and also second would be the time of the day.
Yep, correct.
Yep.
I think that one is the talking about solar panels. So
Yep.
basically it depends on the conditions and also the condition of the day itself, is it whether sunny day or the cloudy days, and also it depends on the angle when you're taking the photo as well. Yep. So this one will very dependent on the method you taking the data and collecting the data by using the drone. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I think you can move on to the next industry, which is SAR, right?
Yep. The second industry we were talking about is the surveillance and also the public safety. Yep. So in here, so we're gonna talk about the common challenges first before we enter it. So the common challenges facing by the surveillance and also the public industry basically will be the visibility. So some area cannot be seen. That's why they need to have set up the CCTV to look around, or the second option will be using the drone. And also they will need have complete map information. In fact, some of the operators that are unable to get for the map information when they are doing SAR, which is the search and rescue. So basically, this will be the common challenges by them as well. And also, will be have challenges is that is inaccessible area, which is referring to surveillance and also public safety itself. Some area is cannot be accessed by human, so they need to have the drones to help them to solve the issue. And also some challenges will be on the tough environment. So some things referring such as like the during the search and rescue, they need to go into the forest. So this will be very tough for them to search the whole forest by using the human. So after talking about the challenges, so we're gonna talk about how drone thermal imaging can be used in surveillance. So basically, they can use to remotely to do the area inspections by using the drone. So basically, they didn't have to have a team physically to present in the place they want to do the surveillance. They can use the drone and set up the waypoint and do the remote area inspection by the drone. So it can help to do for event security as well. When you're having some event, you can use it as a security equipment to do the inspection around the event's place. It can help you to do the risk assessment when using the drone. And also some of them have the function that can able to track and also follow the instructors. And also with the series of drones with the thermal imaging, they actually can have set up the autonomous flight and the waypoint in the map itself to do the surveillance. So as we can see, by using the drone thermal imaging, especially in the nighttime, it's very useful that you can help to track and also follow any intruders to your area. So this will be the usage of the surveillance under surveillance. The usage of the drone thermal imaging under surveillance. And then the second usage of it will be using in the search and rescue. So as you can see from the first picture that actually the drone can be used in search and rescue when you attach with certain equipment such as a spotlight. And then second one will be using the speaker attachment. Basically, you can use the speaker to calm down the victim when you're doing the search and rescue missions. And also it can help to locate animal. So basically this one is using it at some of the areas that farmers, when they have some elephant which go into their area, so they cannot see at night, then they will use the thermal imaging to help to locate the animal to ensure the safety of the peoples around the farm. So this is the second function can be used to locate animal by using the thermal imaging. And the third one, talking about public safety, will be the firefighting. So as we showed just now, also we can use the thermal imaging to identify what's the temperature of the fires, and also use it to rescue for the victim which captured in the fire itself. So there's another special usage in public safety. That's actually you can use the thermal imaging by measuring the body temperature. So just put a remark here that this one still is under the experimental solution introduced by DJI itself. As we know, due to the recent outbreak of COVID-19, DJI team have modified their Mavic 2 Enterprise series and used the thermal imaging to do for body temperature measurements. So basically, as we know, with a COVID-19 symptom, you will have a high fever. So by using the drone thermal imaging, you can measure what is the temperature on the person itself at a safe distance. So this one, as I say, will be under the experimental solution. There's no proven or success case at the moment yet. Yeah, so this is will be using under the special case. So what will be the equipment that we're gonna propose in here is Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual. So basically, Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual is very light and more portable. It's the enterprise version of Mavic 2 Pro. So basically, it is equipped with two cameras. One with the visible camera with 12 megapixel and 4K of video, and the second one is the FLIR camera, which is referring to the thermal camera. So it can up to 160 times 120 sensor resolutions, and also can run for 8.7 FPS video. So what's so special about Mavic 2 Dual is that they come with 3 accessories. As I mentioned in the earlier case, we will have a spotlight, speaker, and beacon. So basically, the spotlight can be used at the night to look for the objects during the night time. It will help to improve the visibility. And then for the speaker, will be used to communicate with the people or the human at the safe distance or at a very far distance, or to come down at the victim in the previous case. And the beacon will be the usage to help you to increase the visibility of your flight when you fly at the night time. So the beacon will be acts as a function, something like the aeroplane. They will keep blinking at the night. So when you do the operation at the night with the beacon function, then you can see where's your drone flying at, and also what direction it's flying in to. So these are the 3 modular accessories we equip with the Mavic 2 Dual. And what's the key features that Mavic 2 Dual is coming with is basically it will have a MSX. So as I explained earlier, the MSX will be the combination with the visible and the thermal imagery in the real time. And also we have a spot meter, which helps you to monitor and measure the temperature. And the last one will be the error measurement. So by having this function, you have when you draw a box on the screen, then you have a highest temperature and also the lowest temperature will be showing on the screen. So as we see, as I said just now, the Mavic 2 Dual is using for the body temperature measurement. So how the DJI team is doing it, they do a modifications on the Mavic 2 Dual. Basically, you will use a cotton bud stick on the drone itself as acting as a reference to calibrating the thermal camera imaging. So by using this method, you can reduce the margin error to plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. So this one will be the experimental solutions by DJI team itself. So for it, have the features will be having a flight time of 31 minutes, and also it will equip with omnidirectional sensing, including front, backward, downward, side, and also upwards. Then also it comes with OcuSync 2.0, which means that it can help you to fly up to 7 kilometers range under the perfect situations. And also it comes with a DJI Air sensors. So this function is that it helps you to sense what the aircraft is nearby, and where there's an aircraft nearby, they will put a notifications in your screen itself. So now we're going to talk about the case study in surveillance and public safety. So for the case study 3, in the surveillance and public safety, basically we're talking in country of United States. So the user will be California Police Department. They have bought a Matrix 210 series and also with Z30, this is the zoom camera, and XT2, and they use it for night inspection and also doing for the broadcast. So basically, after they bought this, they're able to perform a night inspection with the thermal camera as Zenmuse XT2. So this one they're doing for the public safety and also surveillance. And then the fourth one, this is a case study that actually is happening in United States. The photographer called Simplifies, they use the drone and also the thermal camera to find for the missing 6-year-old kid. So basically what he's using is the Matrix 210 RTK versions plus XT2. So at the end, it can help the police to find and rescue the missing kid. So as you see on the right hand side, the pictures, so it shows the thermal imaging that where is the kids have been lying down, and also the rescuer went to rescue for the kid. So as we can see, the thermal imaging can be used in different industry, and also can be used to search and also rescue, public safety, surveillance, and even doing some inspections. And then the fifth one will be talking about a case study in China. So basically, they have using the Matrix 202 Enterprise Dual series with a loudspeaker and also the thermal imaging to do for the body temperature measurement. So they will use it to measure for the residents that suspect for the COVID-19, and they're able to inspect for 8 apartments per day by using the drone. So the summary of it is, by using the drone thermal imaging definitely can increase the efficiency compared with the traditional method, and also it will avoid hazardous in different industry, such as the inspection industry. It doesn't need to have a more human labor, and also it will help you to reduce the cost due to you using the shorter time to do for the inspection. Definitely your cost will go down. And for doing the data collections, it can very easy to store, track, and distribute the data across your database, and it can be used to process analysis further for the certain analysis you're looking for. Yep. So before I end for this one, before I end for this part, Afiq, do we have any question from our resident, from our participant?
Yep. We have a few questions on the floor. So the first one, someone has asked, is there any drones that being used in Malaysia currently for SAR mission?
Search and rescue. Yes. Last time we did have search and rescue missions, which is requested by the police itself to search for the Irish girl, if not mistaken, in Seremban area. Yeah, by using the thermal camera.
Yeah. I think other public safety departments such as PWM, and then Bomba, the firefighting department, and then also the CPAM or Jabatan Pertahanan Awam, they all have a unit of drones or few units of drones in their according to the state that they've been using for quite some time already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
And then any drone that can fly in raining situation for SR mission.
Yes, some drones are equipped with IP43 rating, such as Matrix 200. It can fly under the light rain actually. Yep, but not on the heavy rain. Yeah.
Yep. I think we can move on to the next industry.
So the next one gonna talk about is our portfolio. So basically I'm gonna talk what we can offer to you guys. So the service we can offer will be the turnkey project. So what is turnkey project? That is means if you have a project that you're looking at to do, such as survey mapping or drone thermal imaging inspections, and you don't have the equipment, you can look for us, then we can discuss and customize a proposal to you and turn it into the turnkey projects. And also we can provide the training and support. As I mentioned earlier, we have a Drone Academy Asia, which can help to train your staff, also train you become a drone pilot and perform solutions or the service to your client, also to your company. And also in the product procurement, that means we can help to source and also purchase the right equipment to you according to your needs, and also depends on what's your company looking at. Different range of product we can produce, including the drones, the payloads itself, and also the software. And research and development, this one is more we are more focusing in plantations. We're doing a lot of research and development for our plantations clients. So these are the four big range that we can offer the service to you. And also to let you guys know that we also have online cloud platforms for processing and also analytics. So this is what we call IRA-Map. So IRA-Map basically is a platform that help you to process your data and also analysis your data. So how it works, that is when you're having the drone itself, but you don't have the software to do the processing analysis due to the high cost you need to purchase on the software, then we will come in as your service provider to you. So basically you will just need to use your drone to capture and collecting your data, and then you just upload to our platform. Then we can perform different kind of output to you, depends on the service you choose. So as you can see, one of the famous service we can provide, that is you providing you the tree counting service. You see on the second pictures, this is focusing on the plantations. Then we also have the service that can help you to generate for the 2D map. So in the second one, so these are the service or the output result we can generate. This is just part of it. So we're including the working land digitization map, or DSM model, TTL model, or DEM model. And even we can generate the output with a 2D RGB map and also 2D thermal map. So our experience have been mapped 500,000 hectare and across Malaysia and Indonesia, and now we have expanded our service to Thailand as well. So our major focus in these plantations, then the rest we're focusing in forestry and also other parts of industry such as energy and other inspection as well. So if you are interested to know more informations on certain products or service, you can connect us at hello@poladrone.com or through our contact 011-365-29069. You can drop a message to us, then our sales team or marketing team will be reached to you as soon as possible. Yep. So Afiq, before we end, do we still have any question? No.
Yep. No, we don't have any more questions from the floor. I think we can end here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So like Ajayan said, if you have any questions or inquiries, feel free to reach out to us at this contact details that is on your screen right now, and also an email with this webinar's recording and a survey for you to answer will be sent to you tomorrow, and hello, hear me?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So so there will be an email sent to your inbox tomorrow with a recording and your survey. So we hope you can answer that for us to conduct a better webinar in the future. Thank you everyone for tuning in today.
Yep. Thank you, Afiq.
Thank you. Okay.